welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment as the Clemson Tigers defeat the Alabama Crimson Tide 35-31. And that's right, this is a college football video on Sports Fan Entertainment, but considering this is the national championship, I figured, hey, let me come on here and talk about it for a little bit. And what a game. I mean, this is going down as one of the best games, honestly, in college football history, especially when you consider the fact that we have an upset here as the Tigers defeated the Alabama Crimson Tide. And look, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I picked the Tigers to win this game, but I did preface that pick by saying, look, I don't know much about college football. I really just watched to scout players, and I understand that Alabama is probably going to win this game, but let me just go the upset. And let me pick the Clemson Tigers to win the game. And the reason I felt that was, I mean, we saw both these teams face each other last year, and Clemson they lost by 5 points in that game, and now you have Mike Williams back offensively, and I like this Clemson team a little better than last year. I know Alabama was also a little better, but Jalen Hurts, man, I really don't love this guy. I mean, as a college player, he's fine, but I mean, you just saw this guy's not a very good quarterback. I mean, he can, find ways to make some plays, and he had a great touchdown run, but I mean, he really couldn't throw the ball down the field very well at all. I mean, you just saw no real semblance of a real consistent passing game there, and I think Lane Kiffin did a better job of using Hurts to me than Sarkisian did in this game. I know they didn't put up too many points against Washington, but I felt a better passing game under Lane Kiffin than Steve Sarkisian. Although the Crimson Tide, again, they put up 31 points today, so you guess you have to like that. But Bo Scarborough had a great game until he got nicked late in the game, and he couldn't really play after that. Jalen Hurts ran the ball very well, but I just felt they really lacked something in their passing game, and they really did not step on the necks of the Clemson Tigers in the second quarter when they needed to, because, man, Clemson started off this game pretty poorly. Deshaun Watson did not look prepared for this game. The guy looked to me to just be timid and soft after he got hit early and often by Reuben Foster and company on this Alabama defensive front. But man, as the game went on in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, he proved to be what we all thought he was, and that is a clutch college quarterback. This guy's pretty clutch, and he's pretty good in the fourth quarter when he needs to be, and when he needed to most, he led his team straight down the field for a touchdown to Hunter Renfrow, who had a superb game today. This is a guy that's real tough over the middle of the field, a guy that came into Clemson not even being able to bench 150 pounds. He can bench more than that, I can tell you that, and he's really toughened up since joining the Clemson Tigers. This guy was absolutely incredible today. Mike Williams came up with a number of catches today. He elicited a pass interference call, which was absolutely huge in the third quarter, I want to say. And this Clemson Tigers team, they made the second half adjustments, man. 28 points scored in the second half of this football game. Dabo Swinney, a guy that a lot of people want to just say, oh, he's more of a player's guy, more of a cheerleader. The guy made adjustments, man. This Clemson coaching staff made adjustments in the second half. And Nick Saban, the totalitarian guy, the tough guy, the strict guy who was yelling on the sideline all game, pissed off, mad, angry, the guy that we call the genius, and deservedly so. He's won 4 championships in 8 years. But the guy, he was outcoached in the second half. I mean, it's so plain, so clear and plain to us. He was outcoached in the second half by Dabo Swinney. And, personally, I like the result of this game because I was just sick of Alabama winning championships. The more championships they win, the more stupid high school players are going to want to go there, and they continue to dominate for years. And that's fine, right? I mean, they deserve to do that. I'm not saying they shouldn't try to do that, but I just like to disperse the wealth a little bit. I guess you can call me a socialist, but that's fine. So personally, I'm happy with the game today. I like the wealth to be spread a little bit. And Clemson, after this year, they're done. We saw in the past with like a Taj Boyd, they can win games, but they're not going to be in the national championship game until they find another Deshaun Watson. Similar to Florida State. Florida State, very good. They're not getting back into the college football playoff until they find their next Jameis Winston. Clemson ain't getting back until they find their next Deshaun Watson. Great game from Deshaun Watson, who has now raised his draft stock to me to the first round. Now, I'm not sure how high in the first round. Possibly he could go top 10. I still doubt that, but now I am sure. that the Browns could take him at 12, and then after that, the Cardinals possibly at 13, but then most likely a team will trade up from round 2 to the bottom of round 1 and take him in round 1. Someone is going to fall in love with his clutch play, with his games in the clutch moments. This game, last Ohio State game, last year's game against Alabama, saying, hey, when this guy needs to perform, he does so at a high level in the best moments possible. We need to take this guy, and you're going to see that happening. Great game from O.J. Howard. Jordan Leggett had one bad drop, but he had a great game. I was really impressed by Deon Cain. Not impressed by Artavis Scott. This is a guy I expect to be a better route runner, a guy that I expect to be tougher than he was today. This guy was a non-factor today offensively for Clemson. Ben Boulware, the linebacker for the Clemson Tigers. This guy's instinctual, makes good plays, has a lot of heart, and he proved to be a very good player today. I was disappointed by Jonathan Allen today. The best player on the football field, the guy that has the most NFL prospect, the guy didn't really show up to me today. I expect better plays from him. Yes, he did chase down Deshaun Watson on one play, but outside of that, where was Jonathan Allen today? You know, this guy should be getting sacks. This guy should be getting run stuff. Usually is. He dominated the last game against Washington. He's still, to me, the second best prospect in this upcoming draft, but man, I felt his team needed him today, and he really wasn't there. Marlon Humphrey was a lot up and then a lot down late in the game. Minkah Fitzpatrick had a good game, I'd say, throughout. You look at some other players. Reuben Foster, not a great game from him either. He was still good, though. I still grade him like a B+ or an A-, but not an A or an A+ that I saw last week for sure against the Washington Huskies. Overall, Clemson defeats the Alabama Crimson Tide. Fantastic drive by Deshaun Watson in this football game, leading his team down and putting an end, seemingly, to the Alabama dynasty, although I'm sure they'll probably be back next year and we'll be going through this again, although I don't know who's going to be there. Possibly Penn State, possibly USC, and we shall see. There you go. That's my thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.